In a time when we know there's a new console on the horizon, it certainly didn't seem like we'd be getting anything major outside of remakes this late into the Switch's lifetime. But Nintendo has proven that this old warhorse isn't done quite yet. What was supposed to be a nothing direct seemed to blow everyone away by not just being a good direct for a console near the end of its life, but ended up being a pretty strong direct in general. Out of what should have been nothing but remakes, we got a new Mario and Luigi game, a new Mario Party, a new Zelda game, some legitimately interesting in-between segments, and our first look at Metroid Prime 4 after 7 years of waiting. Nintendo certainly isn't letting their baby die on a whimper. Considering this might be the last direct for the Switch, they're pulling out all the stops to keep their fans satisfied until their next console comes out. Now I'd love to talk in detail about Metroid Prime 4, as that certainly must have been the highlight for most people, but truthfully, I've never actually played any of the Metroid Prime games, so I'll return to that topic once I'm a bit more qualified. For now, I want to discuss a game that I certainly wasn't expecting, that being The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Now the main thing that caught me off guard with this announcement is that it's not a Zelda spin-off or remake or anything like that. It's just straight up a new Zelda game. Literally. Because now, after fans asking for years, we're finally gonna have a Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda, a feature that I hoped would be in Tears of the Kingdom, but hey, at least Nintendo's aware that this is something fans want. Now the fact that this is meant to be a full-on Zelda game is more important than a lot of people probably think, as it gives us a hint about the potential direction for the series from this point on. I'm sure there are a ton of people who've been wondering where the franchise can possibly go after Tears of the Kingdom, and now we at least have an idea. Since this game is clearly much smaller in scale, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo decides to make more of these small-scale games in between much larger releases. Now the Zelda franchise is no stranger to this format, with several smaller-scale handheld games coming out over the years, but now that we've had the Link adventure to end all Link adventures, it seems Nintendo has decided to get more experimental and see what else it can do with the Zelda franchise. Now I welcome this approach, as it can really improve and expand upon what it means to be a Zelda game. Hell, Breath of the Wild did this and it paid off beautifully, and now they're experimenting further by allowing Zelda to take up the role of main character in a promotion that is, in my opinion, long overdue. Now as for what I think of the game itself, I obviously don't expect it to be a Tears of the Kingdom level masterpiece, but after watching through the whole trailer, it seems a lot more interesting than I initially thought. When I was watching the direct and saw the Link's Awakening remake art style, I just thought whatever, because I didn't bother playing that game and didn't think anything else in that style could be much different. But upon seeing the gameplay style, and that it went beyond just swinging a sword around, and that we'd actually be playing as Zelda, I got significantly more interested. The whole idea of copying objects with the Tri-Rod, the game's new weapon, is awesome. Through just the gameplay we see in this trailer, it offers up a gameplay style not too different from Tears of the Kingdom, in which the tools at the player's disposal allow them to play the game in their own unique way. When this game releases, I wouldn't be surprised to see videos online showing funny builds and problem solving, similar to when Tears of the Kingdom came out. The game is clearly putting the player first and not confining them to a specific playstyle, and that's always a plus. So the game looks good. Definitely enough for me to potentially pick it up when it comes out, but I still have one major problem with it, and that's the art style. I already wasn't a huge fan of it when the Link's Awakening remake was announced, but I think it worked a bit better in that case because it was a remake of a much older game. This is supposed to be a whole new game with its own identity, a game that finally put Zelda in the spotlight after years of playing second fiddle. And as a reward for finally making it this far, they give her a character design that isn't even really a character design. She just looks the same as everyone else but with different hair and clothes, and Zelda deserves better than that. It all just gives the impression that this is just a mini project solely for buying time before the Switch's end. Which, yeah, it probably is, but it shouldn't be that obvious. Anyway, my personal gripes aside, the game looks fun, and that's what matters in the end. It gives me hope that we could see vastly different Zelda games in the future, with different gameplay and stories beyond Link finding the Master Sword and defeating Ganon. No Zelda game is going to top Tears of the Kingdom anytime soon, but they can give us something new and exciting that we haven't seen before. And while Echoes of Wisdom doesn't look perfect, I completely welcome the change for the franchise that it will usher in. Good luck, Echoes of Wisdom. I hope you do well.